Between 1970 and 2010, there have been many large-scale sculptures that have achieved recognition, such as Nameless Library by Rachel Rightweed and Bat Column by Claes Oldenburg and Kase van Bergen. However, there is one large-scale sculpture that has achieved greater success than any of these other sculptures by how it received about 5.6 million visitors in 2015 and 5.3 million visitors in 2016. One of the few reasons why this sculpture has received this amount of visitors is because it is a memorial that, as of Memorial Day 2017, commemorates 58,318 Vietnam veterans who either have fallen during combat, are missing in action, or have died prematurely because of war-related illnesses. The name of the sculpture is the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, which was commissioned in 1981 and is located in Washington, D.C. near the Lincoln Memorial. This artwork consists of two polished granite walls, each stretching more than 246 feet, with 74 8-inch panels that gradually increase in height from 8 inches to more than 10 feet at the center. These two walls meet at a 125-degree angle, in which makes the memorial take a shape similar to an inverted V, and were positioned in this way so that one of the walls points to the Lincoln Memorial and the other points to the Washington Monument. Although this structure is a federal memorial, it was not funded by the United States government. Instead, the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund raised $9 million entirely through private contributions from corporations, foundations, unions, veteran and civic organizations, and more than 275,000 individual Americans. However, the sculpture's design was not decided on by one individual artist, but by a competition hosted by the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund. Once the competition came to a close, over 14,000 submissions were reviewed by a panel of architects and artists. The design that was picked belonged to Maya Hien Lin, which at the time was a 21-year-old senior Yale University student. Lin was the daughter of Asian immigrants and was born in Athens, Ohio on October 5, 1959. Among other things, Lin spent most of her childhood studying, taking independent classes from Ohio University, and casting bronze sculptures in Ohio University's foundry. It was not until after her design that was picked as the winner of the competition that she gained her Bachelor of Arts degree in 1981 and her Master of Architecture degree in 1986 from Yale University. One of the main reasons why Lin's design was picked as the winner of the contest was because of the unique way she organized the composition of the sculpture. If the viewer first takes in the sculpture from a distance, they would notice the symmetrical balance of the sculpture. This balance is achieved by how Lin created both granite walls to be equal in length. Furthermore, this sculpture also achieves a symmetrical balance by how the height of the walls, being over 10 feet in the center and gradually shrinking in height to about 8 inches on the sides, creates an essence of a pyramid, which is known to be a very stable and symmetrical form. This sculpture also has a unique way of guiding the viewer's eyes toward the center of the composition through its lines. This is noticed when the viewer comes closer to the sculpture and sees the actual vertical lines in between the granite panels. These vertical lines would lead the viewer's eyes towards the top of the sculpture, where then the viewer is led by a slanted implied line up to the center and highest point, where the two equal granite walls meet. Another aspect worth mentioning is the color of this sculpture. When the viewer stands back, the only color that is visible is the black color of the granite. However, when the viewer comes close to the sculpture to read the names of the fallen veterans, the black color remains but also displays the ever-changing colors of the sky, trees, and the viewer themselves. Maya Lin was able to achieve this transition of color through the viewer moving by having the sculpture encompass a smooth polished texture that is unique because how it is not seen in many of the sculptures that were created during the 1980s. One other interesting aspect of this sculpture is how Lin emphasized the names of the veterans to become the focal point. She did this by having the names of the veterans encompass a white color in which contrasts against the black color of the granite. In addition to how Maya Lin organized the composition, the Vietnam Veterans Memorial also represents many different kinds of symbols. Some of these symbols include the representation of the veterans' bravery and commitment to their country. Besides these symbols, in which are seen in almost any military memorial, the Vietnam Veterans Memorial also represents a certain theme. Many viewers of this sculpture would say that the theme of this sculpture is war because of who it honors and what history it reminds the viewer of. However, others believe that the Vietnam Veterans Memorial stands for the theme of family. The first of the few ways that this sculpture encompasses the theme of family is by how the soldiers of the military, even if they have not met, consider each other friends and part of an intertwined community. William Shakespeare expresses this belief in his book King Henry V by stating that, "From now until the ends of the world, we and it shall be remembered, we few, we band of brothers, for he who sheds his blood with me shall be my brother." Besides representing the comradeship of the military, this sculpture also represents the theme of family by how the smooth mirror-like surface gives the effect that many have compared to the encounter between the living and the dead. James Quay, who was a director of California Council for Humanities in 1987, explains this connection by stating that, "This wall makes meetings possible. Here children meet fathers they never knew. Parents meet sons. Lovers are reunited. Comrades. The names of the dead wait at the memorial for the living to come and touch them." In other words, James Quay is trying to tell us that this wall allows for families that were separated by death during the Vietnam War to come and reconnect for a few seconds by how the living see their mirrored reflection while touching the names of their fallen loved ones. One other way this sculpture stands for the theme of family is by what message that the memorial is trying to communicate to the living. This message is not just meant for the families of veterans who have died in the Vietnam War, but to everyone that has seen the sculpture that although the Vietnam War was not won, the veterans that lost their lives during this time should be remembered by everyone. Everyone should remember because the 58,318 Vietnam soldiers lost their lives protecting not just their close family, but their American family, otherwise known as the country of the United States of America.